an element of danger into the poem. Means in this stanza, we can see contrast between two lines. How that is a that night describe the lady as a beautiful as well as a wild. Next stanza, I made a garland for her head and bracelets too and fragrant zone and looked at me as she did love and made sweet moan. Stanza number 5. This stanza describes his pursuit and her response. After their meeting, they are talking with each other, observing with each other. The emotions of the knights are positive, happy, and loving. In this stanza, his perspectives, his view for that lady, that he made a garland for her head and bracelets and fragrant zone, and she looked at me, she did love and made sweet more. Introducing the word as in the third line hints at her deception means fraud. Her sweet moan is her response to his pursuit. Next stanza explanation. The loitering of the first stanza is offset hereby the pacing steed and the movement of love. It's in the stanza number 6. I set her on my pacing steed and nothing else saw all day long, for sidelong would she bend and sing a fairy song. Means after their meeting, they both sat on his knight's horse. Pacing steed means a horse, and both were traveling in the forest. The knight said that nothing else saw all day. He was just looking at her. Sidelong would she bend and sing a fairy song. And she was just singing a song, and he was looking at her and her beauty. Next stanza. She found me roots of relish sweet and honey wild and manna dew, and sure in language strange she said, I love thee true. Stanza number 7. Here night described, if her beauty seduces the knight, he is also seduced by the food and drink she offers him. Means in the story we can see the lady is a little bit supernatural, and the knight was wandered in the forest. The forest is a completely supernatural where he could not find food and drink. The food and drink is the product of natural word, root sunny and manna. Manna means a food from heaven. The strangeness of La Bella Dame is evident in her strange language, the simplicity and brevity of her statement, I love thee true. Next stanza, she took me to her elfin grot, and there she wept and sighed full sore, and there I shut her wild eyes with kisses four. The setting of the poem moves from the outdoors into her elfin grot means a fairy's cave where she lives. Her weeping and sighing and an ominous means weird note of sadness and darkness. They are also intended have an effect of the night, and they do repeating the word wide. From stanza 4 reintroduces the element of danger. Next stanza, and there she lulled me sleep, and there I dreamed woe betide, the latest dream I ever dreamed on the cold hillside. Now here he is pale, loitering his journey in the hell. Stanza number 9 explanation. The knight finds himself in a kind of hell through the common Gothic transport of a dream. It is a kind of nightmare. He is surrounded by all of the ladies, previous victims who include kings and princes and warriors. Her taste in men is evidently consistent. I saw pale kings and princes to pale warriors, death pale were they all, they cried. La Bella Dame Sans Mercy means a lady, a beautiful lady without mercy. The hath in thrall means all these kings, princes, and warriors completely victims. They are just slave of that lady. Stanza number 10. The contents of his dream or nightmare are revealed in this and the next stanza. The repetition of the word "pel" reintroduce the death motif first developed in stanza 3, where destruction and desolation can be seen in his description. Next stanza. I saw their starved lips in the gloom, with horrid warning gaped wide, and I awoke and found me here on the cold hills aside. Means the knight said, I saw in the nightmare the princes, warriors, and kings. They are completely starved lips in the gloom, and horrid warning gaped wide. And after his dreaming, he walked on the cold hills side. Stanza 11. The nightmare ends with a gruesome, horrid image. Stanza number 12. The concluding stanza at the end of the stanza offers an explanation for the opening stanza by repeating words and phrases. There is a variation from the sage has withered, and this is why I sojourn here alone and palely loitering, though the sage is withered from the lake and no birds sing. Again, the climate is completely nervous, and now he is feeling predicaments, means unfortunate, completely unfortunate, where is no bird. It is a completely like a hell. So themes: the stress of self-examination, the fraught duality of Eros. Here Eros means a god of love and death. Between there is a fraught Eros and death, and individual mortality, and it's a mirroring in the cycles of nature. In the cycles of nature, we can see if you will feel a lot, so there will be death. Point to ponder means where we can think over it. There are four voices in the poem, that of poet, the knight, the lady, and some unfied voices, that kings, princes, and warriors. The word Peli is used repeated in the poem, repeating the central question of the poem in both the first and the second stanza is known as incremental repetition. So this was the poem La Bella Dame Sans Mercy, means the beautiful lady without mercy, by John Keats. I hope you have understood. Thank you and have a nice time. So we will soon see you again.